Welcome back, everyone. I'm Jennifer Maker, and this is the Great Maker Show and Tell. Today we are making glitter ornaments. This is a fun, if a little messy, craft that is perfect for the holidays. A glitter ornament is a little less scary than it sounds. Basically, you put glitter inside a clear ornament, like one of these. And the way that the glitter stays put, it doesn't get all over the place, at least one can hope it doesn't get all over the place, is because it's enclosed. Now, despite the way it may look, it's not completely covered with glitter, like filled with glitter. So what we do is we coat the inside of a clear glass or plastic ornament like this, and the glitter sticks to the side. And there's three schools of thoughts on how you can get your glitter to stick. One is to use polyacrylic. Another is to use a product called Glitter It. And the third is to use Mop and Glow. I know, right? So if you're anything like me, you might be wondering, well, which one is the best to use? So I've tested it for you. I've gathered 9 glass ornaments, made 9 glass ornaments using these 3 options, and I'll be showing you the results in this video. Now, to make this project, you need one of these 3 adhesives, and you also need a clear glass or plastic ornament, the kind that have a pop-off top, just like this. Right? You need a fine or extra fine glitter, that's important. You need little cups that you can put your ornaments into while they're drying. And you also need some vinyl to decorate the outside of your ornaments. And you're going to need some transfer tape to apply the vinyl. And of course some ribbon or string or something to hang your ornaments. I've also prepared 9 different designs for you to play with, and if you want to use any of those, you'll find them free on my blog at jennifermaker.com. So I have 3 different cams. I have a Santa cam, and I have a Grinch cam, and I have an angel cam, and I have different seasonal greetings, one for Christmas, one for Hanukkah, one for New Year's, and I have 3 different snowflakes that you can use to personalize with a name inside. Now let me show you how to glitter your ornaments, and then I will show you how to layer and apply your vinyl around the curved surface of this ornament. Okay, so here we have our ornaments and the 3 different adhesives that we're going to use. First, you want to take the top off. It pulls right off. It's just little wires in there. We're going to start with the polyacrylic first, and I'm using the matte, and you just pour a bit in there and you swirl it around gently. The polyacrylic is a lot thicker than the other 2, and it takes a while to coat, but you want to get the whole side coated all the way down to the base, just like this. So I'm just kind of turning it and then letting it drip right into the little cup that I have. And we'll do the second one as well with the rest that we have there, so that we can put the rest of this in here. But you don't want to shake it up, right? You just want to swirl it gently around to make sure it all gets coated. If you need a little bit more, because this polyacrylic is really quite thick, just pour a bit more in there and just keep swirling it, and then let it drain. And we want it to drain out before you put the glitter in. But the good news is the polyacrylic actually, it's so thick that it's not really I found that it wasn't a long wait time. So you just pour your glitter in. Now, if you don't have a good way of pouring it in, you might want to make a little funnel out of paper. My glitter poured out fine. And you do the same thing. You turn your ornament around until the glitter coats the side. And if you need more glitter, you just pour that in. You don't really need all that much. It's, I don't even know, maybe a teaspoon if I were to guess. I'm not sure. But you just want it to coat the sides. Now, I want to note that this ornament that I have here, this glass ornament, it's got like some kind of coating on the outside that makes it almost iridescent. So as you look at it, you might think that there's streaks of the glitter, but it's actually just the coating on the outside. Can you see that there? So it's kind of misleading, but it has fully coated the inside there of the ornament. So, and you should double check it for sure. But once it looks good, you put it back into your cup, and you don't want to let it keep draining. So you don't want to turn it upright and let it drain. You want it to drain into your cup, right? That's really very important. So let's do the red glitter as well. And we'll get that all covered, the inside all coated with our glitter. So just make sure you've got glitter everywhere. And again, it is a little bit messy, so It's glitter, right? All right, so now we're going to use Glitter It. You'll notice it's a lot less thick. It's almost just like water, really, in it. So it coats much faster, right? I mean, just look at that. It's a lot thinner. So it coats a whole lot faster than the polyacrylic does. But you still want to swirl it gently, right? And you'll see there's a little air bubble in there. Yeah, I don't know. So, but you're going to definitely want to let that one drain out. So before you can put glitter in there, you got to check to make sure, and there's still an air bubble in here. So I don't think these are ready yet. These take longer. The Glitter It takes longer to be ready for glitter, in my opinion. So let's do the Mop and Glow one now. So we'll take that top off and prepare another ornament so that we can do both at the same time. And the Mop and Glow is also really quite liquidy. It's very similar in consistency to the Glitter It. So we just swirl that around and it coats very quickly. And just make sure you get everything coated and then just let it drain into your little cup and do the other one the same way. You'll notice that the Glitter It and Mop and Glow are a lot easier to put into than the polyacrylic is, unless perhaps you came up with some way of pouring it out a little better than I had, which was a cup. Now, when I checked these, I noticed there were still air bubbles in the Glitter It. So I took a little wire and I sort of rubbed it against it just to get the air bubble out, because I don't think I want an air bubble. I don't think the glitter will stick to an air bubble. And then I went ahead and put the glitter in. I would say I waited about 10-15 minutes with the Glitter It and the Mop and Glow, whereas with the polyacrylic, I was really able to put the glitter in right away, right? So, and the way that I determined when it was time to put it in was when it was no longer dripping out, in a major way. Yeah, so it's not like, I'm sure there's a science to this, but whatever. You just don't want it to be sopping wet, because if it's too wet, it'll run down the sides of the inside of your ornament and make a big mess and won't look good. So you want to make sure that it's coated. You don't want it to be dry, right? You don't want it dry. You just want it not just just a huge amount and dripping out. All right, so here are all of our ornaments and the 3 adhesives that we used. So it's been 24 hours. I've let them all dry and we're going to compare them now. I need to explain something. So you'll notice that they look a little bit different from one another. One looks different than the other 2. So I decided I wanted to do 3 of each color of glitter, and I went back to the store to get them. I must have picked up a slightly different brand, because the ones that I got don't look the same. Even though they're exactly the same size and they're both glass, they actually have a different sheen on the outside. The new ones don't have the iridescent sheen. So this is significant because it's not just the glitter and how you adhere it to the inside of your ornament, but it's also the finish on the outside of your ornament that makes it look the way it does. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so now let's compare how well each of these adhesives coated the inside. And I'm going to do this by shining my iPhone's flashlight underneath so we can see how opaque it is, right? So here is the polyacrylic. Here's the Glitter. You can see that's got a lot more light coming through, and here's the Mop and Glow, also a lot more light. So the polyacrylic is definitely coating better. Now with these white ones, you can really see a difference here. The polyacrylic is a lot more opaque than the Glitter here and the Mop and Glow. Really, it's actually quite a bit different with the white, and you can see that really well. So I think if you want awesome ornaments, go with the polyacrylic. If you're going to be making a whole bunch of them, do the Mop and Glow. I think the Glitter is kind of just expensive for what it is. So my suggestion is to get the polyacrylic because it's not expensive and it gave the best coverage of your ornament. And it even was I was even able to put the glitter on sooner. So I think polyacrylic is the winner. All right, so I made some designs, right? And you are welcome to them. They are on my blog. So here's how you prepare them in Cricut Design Space. So you go to Cricut Design Space and click New Project. And then you want to click on upload and then upload image and then browse. And then you're going to look for the SVG that you downloaded from my blog, which has all of the ornament designs in it. And it should have an SVG on the end of it. So that's how you'll find the name. All right, so once that uploads, you want to click save. And then click on the image under recently uploaded images and click insert images. And here it is. There's not really a lot that you have to do to it, but you could add a name down to the snowflakes at the bottom if you wanted to personalize your ornaments, right? The way to do this is you want to click on text over on the left and type in the name that you would like to have. So I'm going to type in my name, and it usually turns out gigantic. So we're going to resize this with the resize icon in the lower right corner of it. And we're going to bring this down and put it in our snowflake. It's still too big. So we're going to resize this again. And now I think that I would prefer all caps instead of upper and lowercase. So I'm going to retype this as all caps. I think it looks a little better with these snowflakes. And I'm going to also change the letter spacing because it looks a little bit close together right now. So I'm going to widen the letter spacing here and then resize it so it fits within those two lines. Here we go. So that's actually all you have to do to create the personalized snowflake ornament, right? It's really, really easy. So click Make It, and you'll see that Cricut separates it into all of these different mats. So this is what I like to do. I like to click on it and click on the three little dots and choose Move to Mat, another mat, and then I move it to my first mat. And I do this for each item. And the reason why I like to do this, guys, is because I can be lazy. Maybe lazy is not the right word. Maybe just really busy and I don't have a lot of time to be constantly getting up, going over to my machine, taking out the mat, putting in a new mat. So when I put them all on the same mat like this, and I'm going to show you how we're actually going to do this when we get there. But when I put them all onto one mat, that means that I can then put my different colors on that mat at the same time, right? So then all I have to do is load one mat in. I have to put my different colors on, of course, but only one load and unload, which means I can walk away and go to do something else and not babysit my Cricut. So this is, you're not going to want to do this with all things, but when you have all these little bits like this is a really, really helpful tip, right? I do this mostly on projects like this. So here you can see that I'm moving them to very certain sections because I'm keeping all the colors together. And then I'm keeping track too of where I'm putting things. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to, send this over to my maker and we're going to put it on vinyl, right? So premium vinyl. Now, this is what it looks like. So this is all the colors that I want to cut out and I put them into the right sections. And then I just cut it. It's so awesome. So this is a tip that you should try. Now, I recommend you maybe just for the first time, just try 2 different colors if you haven't done this before, because you got to make sure you put your vinyl in the right area on your mat. But once you get the hang of it, it's a super big time saver. So we're just going to let that cut, and here we go. It's finished. But if you look at it, you'll see I have a problem. My black did not cut very well. Now, I had forgotten that before this, I had cut glitter cardstock, and that tends to dull my blade. So what I did was I took out my fine tip blade right here, and I'm pushing in the plunger, and I am going to use this ball of aluminum foil to sharpen it. This totally works, okay? So you got to push the plunger in like this and then hold it, and then you basically stick your aluminum foil over and over and over. I don't know how many times to do it, 50, 100 times, I don't know, but you do it a whole bunch of times and this will make a difference. It totally does. This is one of my best tips because in the beginning I didn't know this, and I would go out and buy new blades, and at this point I've had the same blade for over a year. So here's the original, and I recut it with that blade, and you can see the difference. See, that's that's pre and post aluminum foil ball. I don't have to buy new blades anymore now that I know how to do this aluminum foil trick. This is not my idea. I read this online somewhere. And it absolutely works. I do it all the time. Whenever I notice that I'm having an issue, I just sharpen up my blade. Yeah. All right. So now we have all of these colors of vinyl, and we need to take them off the mat, and then we need to start preparing them for our ornaments. So we're going to get them all off the mat, and I have a bunch of duplicates here, so we need to sort everything here. So it's time to get this vinyl ready. So first, we start off, of course, by removing the excess around the edges. So if you saw my first video of this series, then with the vertical welcome sign, then you saw me do this. So we just remove all of this extra stuff here. You might have to help it. Sometimes the little bits will want to not come off, right? Especially when we get really tiny like this. These are very small, intricate designs, and they're more likely to want to not come off as easily. But there we go. So we have that off there. But now we need to weed. So weeding is to take out these little extra bits here that we do not want transferred. So the A has a center that often the A doesn't come off when you peel off the vinyl the first time. You have to go in with a weeding tool or your fingernail I'm doing here, and get rid of that A. So we do the same thing for all the rest of the bits. So the little bit here in the R needs to come out, and the A in the cam as well. And just double check that you got everything. It looks like the snowflake has little void areas, holes in it. So we're going to remove those as well. I don't think the other snowflake does though, just this one. And weeding is a little bit tedious. Some people love it. Some people don't. I am one of those who doesn't love it. But you just want to do this for all of your pieces. Everything that you're going to put onto your ornaments needs to be weeded. Now you'll notice this E here, it came right off, right? That's super irritating, and it tends to happen with the little stuff, especially, right? Same, it just, so what I do is I sort of set those things aside, and I come back later and I fix them because I have them there, and I set them out. So, and it looks like I'm missing my C and my H on Merry Christmas. This is typical. This is, I will admit, I am not a huge fan of vinyl, and this is one of the reasons why. It's very fiddly. But I have that second piece from when I recut it, so I'm just going to take the C and the H from there. If I hadn't had that, I might have had to recut it again. This happens, and I need that E there as well. And then we're going to need to weed the whole thing. The A's and the P and it's stuck to my mat. Yes, I just love vinyl. So there's like all the little bits inside the name here. All this has to go. So when I have a lot of little things like this I have to do, I like stick it on the side of my hand like this. Because one thing that's really important with these little tiny bits is that you actually want to keep track of them and not let them like be floating around your work surface, because they'll get stuck to your design again. And then when you go to apply it, it'll be underneath it and causing a bulge or a buckle, or it'll be covering up some other part of your design and you won't even notice it till later. So put them somewhere where you know they're going to stay and your hand works just fine, and then you can clean it up afterwards. That's what I do. It works pretty well. I'd say 99% of the time. But even then, sometimes those, like that A, that's tiny, guys. That's really hard. It's hard to pick up just with your fingernails or that weeding tool. This is very small. So, sometimes it happens. You just have to go back and clean it up later if you got a little bit stuck somewhere. All right, so now it's time to apply our vinyl. So the trick to doing this, and there's definitely a trick to layering vinyl, is to start with your top layer and work down. So you're only going to want to put transfer tape on your very top layer. So in this case, that's my pink snowflake here, and I've put some transfer tape on it already. And the name Alexa is my second layer. So I'm going to go ahead and peel off my vinyl with the transfer tape. Okay, so the secret to layering vinyl is to do it before you put it onto the whatever you're going to put it on. So layer it first. Layer it top to bottom using one piece of transfer tape. So we're just going to, and this is the easiest one to layer because it's two colors and they're not even touching. Okay, so super easy. So we're just going to center that snowflake over the name and then press down, and that's it. Layered vinyl. Super easy to do. That's the easiest one, and it's the one I recommend that you start with so that you can see how it works. Then you can peel off the transfer tape, and then, oh, the E got stuck. Burnish that down. You can peel that off, and now you have a layered vinyl piece that's ready to put onto your ornament. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's put it on our ornament so you can see how the best way to put a design like this on a curved surface like an ornament. So I'm going to set it in this cup like this. Give myself so it doesn't roll around. And then I'm going to position it where I want it to be, and just but only press down in the very center, nowhere else. Now I'm going to need some scissors, and what we're going to do, and this is the trick to getting it to curve, is we're going to make small cuts all the way around the design wherever, and we can get in as far as you can, right? Because what happens when you curve it around the surface is that it gets stuck and it has no place to go. By cutting it, it's going to give it more flexibility, and it can move into the position that it naturally wants to go, which will mean that it will not buckle and crease and fold, which is what we want to avoid. We want a nice, smooth application. So here you can see it, well, the little cuts in it. And now, starting from the center, we smooth outward, from the center out. So sort of like the rays of a sun, you just go from the center outward, and the transfer tape will shift, underneath your finger, and it might buckle, but the vinyl underneath should be applying smoothly. So you can see that the tape is buckling, but what's happening is it's overlapping itself where you cut it. Right? And it's allowing you to put that vinyl down smoothly. So let's see how we did. Let's remove the transfer tape. It's going to probably come off in chunks because we cut it. That's okay. So just be patient and remove it gently, making sure that all of your design stays on the ornament. And if it doesn't, you're just going to want to help it out. Let it know. Just take your fingernail and make sure that it's help it stay onto the ornament. In this case, this one actually came off really well. So all of the tape is off now, so just smooth it all down. And this one actually turned out perfect without anything extra. So you can see it's perfectly applied around that curved surface. There's no creasing or buckling or anything. And that's a really small design there, guys. I think it turned out really great, and it was actually quite easy. And this is the easiest one. So we're going to put that top back in. You just squeeze those two wires and insert it back in there. And sometimes it's a little fiddly. Those tops are kind of soft metal. And then you need a ribbon or a piece of string so that you can put this on your tree or hang it from wherever you're going to hang it. I mean, we can use ornaments all year round, really. So it doesn't have to be a Christmas ornament, but yep. So there we go. Make it nice, pretty little bow, and then loop it up again at the top so that it can hang from a branch or from a hook or whatever. There we go. Isn't that pretty? I think that turned out great. Okay, so now the second hardest one is one that has 3 different colors, and the position is fairly important. Okay, so again, we're going to start with our top layer, which is Merry Christmas. And we're going to lay that over our second layer, which is this holly. So you just want to position it so it's similar. Either it's the way you want it to be, or it's similar to the picture, whichever one you want. There's really no rules. It's however you like it. And then, now that we have those 2 layers together, we're going to put the third layer, and you're just going to press it down onto that third layer. It's got to go right in between the 2 leaves and below the letters. And that's it. We now have a layered vinyl piece with 3 colors. That wasn't difficult. So same thing we're going to do just like before, or you can cut it first if you prefer. But you just want to make cuts going from the outside in towards the center as far as you can go without cutting your piece in half or something, right? That's not going to help you. And then set it on your ornament, press down in the center and smooth it outwards, just like this. Yep, always going from the center outwards as you burnish it down. That's the way to keep those letters nice and smooth. So we can remove this tape. And remember, sometimes you have to like help the letters. Like this C is just obviously doesn't want to come off on this. It does not want to be on here. So, but once it's on there, I'm using permanent vinyl here. So once it's on there, it should be fine. You just might need to burnish it down a bit. And there we go. Make sure everything is nice and smooth. If there's any little creases, you can fix this right now. You can just kind of pull it up and smooth it back down. And there we go. A nicely curved, smooth ornament. Okay, time for the hard one. This one has 6 layers, guys. We're going to start with this one on the bottom. I have these in order. This one at the bottom is our first layer. So we're going to cut a piece of transfer tape that's big enough for the full pattern. So nice big square. Okay, so we're going to go right in order, starting with the first layer, and the first layer is the lens shine of the camera. This is a tiny little bit here. Okay, so we're going to transfer that over. All right, and so the next layer is the little, I guess it's supposed to be a red LED light on our camera to indicate that it's on and recording. I think that's the idea. And so there we go. We have the little red light and the little lens shine. Then we position that over our lens itself. So now we have 3 layers. Okay, now we need to put the wings on. This is tricky because we don't have the backing, but we just need to put it in the center, just like that. So now we have the wings, and then we put it over the background. So yep, just like that, and smooth it all down. Pull it off, and then the final layer, just center it in the angel cam letters. And there we go. That's 6 layers of vinyl, right? And again, it's super tiny design here. A bigger design really would actually be easier. All right, so let's put this on. We're going to use a different one. I wanted to make sure that we stick with, that's the polyacrylic one right there. So we're going to use it to that one. I'm putting all the cams on the polyacrylic one so I remember in case anyone asks me. So don't forget to make your little cuts around the edge so that you can put the ornament on nice and smoothly. There we go. Oh, I guess I changed my mind. Oh, well, whatever. All right. So again, you start in the center and you smooth outwards, right? From the center out. Just go all the way around the edge, and then we can start taking the transfer tape off when it looks like it's good to go. And there we go. Smooth everything down. Make sure everything's nice and clean and neat. If there's any little bubbles, smooth them out now. Yep, get them all smoothed out. That's good. There we go. All nice and smooth, going all the way around the ornament. Pretty awesome, huh? I think it turned out great. It was tricky. I would not say that was particularly easy, but totally doable. And so let's go ahead and finish up all the rest of these quickly. Our Happy Hanukkah. Oh, we have a Santa camera. Isn't that cute? Those are so adorable. So these glittered ornaments are a fun way to give a personalized gift or create a keepsake for your Christmas tree. So one thing I do want to point out is size. So I used a standard 2.5-inch ornament size, but in retrospect, I wish I'd gone with a larger ornament. It would have been much easier to apply the vinyl, and the designs would have stood out more as well. So bigger is better, I think. No, but still, I think they turned out pretty sweet, don't you think? And I'm looking forward to hanging them on our big tree out in the living room. This is my daughter's Christmas tree that she graciously let me borrow for this tutorial. Normally, it lives in her bedroom. Okay, so now if you plan to give any of these ornaments away, you might need something to put them in, like a gift box. And I've had a number of people request that I design a gift box specifically for ornaments. So watch for that on a future episode of this video tutorial show, whatever. So tomorrow we're going to be changing gears a bit and we're going to paper and we're going to make a card. Specifically what is known as an impossible card. It's called that not because it's impossible to make, of course, but because it's nearly impossible to tell how it was made, which is the cool part. But I'll be showing you exactly how to do it tomorrow. There's a really cool twist to it. Now don't forget to send in your project ideas at jennifermaker.com/show-and-tell and share your completed projects with us in our Facebook group or on social media with the hashtag #MakerShowAndTell. So remember, if you can tell me what you want to make, I can show you how to make it. Until tomorrow.